Hello everyone, my name is Simpoha Debe, your property investor mentor based in Devon. Today we're going to look at the top 10 questions that you have to answer during your property viewing. But remember, you don't make money when you sell your property, but you only make money when you are buying a property. So you don't have to use your emotions when you buy a property, but use your calculations. So the questions that you'll be asking during your property viewing to your estate agent, they have to make sure that they give you information that you're gonna use to do your calculations. So let's look at our first question that you have to ask is, why the owner is selling the property? This question gives you an understanding whether the seller is motivated or not. Because remember, there are two boxes that have to be ticked when you are buying property creatively. Is that the property must have equity and the owner must be motivated to sell that property. Because if it doesn't tick it, both of these boxes, and then that deal is off. We're not gonna entertain it. So the second question that you have to ask is how long the property has been in the market for. If the property has been in the market for quite some time, it might establish the fact that the owner is now motivated to sell that property, so he can accept any offer that comes in because it has been in the market for some time. And if the property is vacant, then he's losing out. So the third question that you have to ask is how many offers have been received up to this far. If the offers that have been received are too many but none of them have been accepted, it might mean that the property is too expensive or is overpriced. But if there are lesser offers that have been received, there might be an opportunity for you to be able to negotiate. And then the fourth question that you have to ask is your rates, your electricity, your levies if they are applicable. So those questions or those numbers will be able to add on your calculations in terms of the rates, levies, electricity and all that. And then you have to also try to understand the neighborhood from this property. Is it a quiet area? Is it a noisy area? Is it an area for students, full of students and all that, so that you can know that when you buy this property, who are you going to sell it to? And then the other question that you have to ask now, which is the fifth question, are there any major refurbishment that has taken place in the property? If there are any, and then are the plans approved by the municipality and are they available? Because if they are not available, and then which means the bank won't be able to buy that property if the plans were not approved by the municipality. The sixth question that you have to ask is, when is the owner willing to move out of that property? Because if they are rushing to move out, and then which means they are motivated in, maybe there are emergencies, or maybe they want to migrate to somewhere, or they need to relocate somewhere, so which means they are motivated. So you need to understand when are they planning to move out of that property. And then the other question you have to ask is about the crime within the area. Even though sometimes you might not get the full information or the accurate information, but that's a critical question that you have to ask to understand the area that you're trying to invest in. And then you have to ask whether you can also take pictures, because the pictures talk a lot compared to taking notes. But most importantly, you have to make sure that when you prepare to go and view the property, you must bring along your checklist to check everything that is taking place, or everything that is within that property, and then to say whether it's in good condition, bad condition, or excellent condition, so that can help you to establish your cost for the refurb that you have to do. And then you have to also ask whether can you be able to come back to do the inspection. That's where by now you can be able to bring in your contractor who's gonna now do the thorough inspection and investigation for the property. So because you don't want us to underestimate your cost for refurbishment. And then the last question that you have to ask is whether what is included in the property or in the deal. Because you might find that you see something that is nice, or you've got the aircon and all that, but when the seller now is moving out, and then they're gonna take out that air conditioning and stuff like that, or maybe the motor on the gate and all that. So you need to understand exactly what is included in the deal. Up until then, I'm sure you enjoy our episode today. So we're looking for next week. We're gonna be looking at the top 10 rules that you have to follow when you're investing in property. Up until then, cheers, bye.